Thousands of Southern California residents have made harrowing escapes as devastating wildfires bear down on the Los Angeles area. Some fled by foot, some by car, and some by the grace of good Samaritans. There are now 6 fast-moving wildfires raging around LA County, including the Pacific Palisades blaze and the Eaton fire in Altadena. The 6th fire, called the Sunset Fire, broke out last night in the Hollywood Hills area. Officials say the fires have killed at least 5 people and have burned down nearly 2,000 homes and structures, including ones owned by celebrities Billy Crystal, Mandy Moore, and Paris Hilton.
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to cover. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called the smelt. And for the sake of the smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California.
This firestorm is the big one in magnitude. Hurricane-force winds are usually accompanied by rainstorms, but these are hurricane-force winds that are combined with extremely dry drought conditions. To provide context, at 10:20 a.m. yesterday, the Palisades fire was at 10 acres. 12 minutes later, it was at 200 acres. I spoke with President Biden today and Governor Newsom earlier today, and they assured me of full federal and state support. If you have an evacuation warning, get ready to go.
Everybody trying to get out. There's the big fire.
Well, it's kind of sad, you know. I mean, everybody's lost. Not just this community. The community next door, I'm sure all the people up there have lost everything. It's just pretty devastating. This is pretty devastating. I don't think LA's seen anything like this before.
Had just come from my family home where my mother lives. That was burned to a crisp, so that was the initial shock value. And then I came up to my home and same thing, it's completely dust. So that's, I just had to see it with my own eyes to believe it.
Yeah, so the firefighters they've been really, really good to us, and they're under-resourced here because they're sending a lot of their troops to the front line. One of the firefighters told me, if I'm remembering correctly, they sent 500 engines to Topanga because that's where a lot of stuff is happening, and I'm grateful because that's where I live, and so I'm just grateful to know that there's a lot of people holding the line up there. But here they only have 2 engines for this whole neighborhood, and they're out of water. They ran out of water from the lines here, but they also don't have water in their trucks, and so they have been setting up pumps that go from the pools in the neighbors on either side of this house, and they've just been trying to keep it down. The fire is too big for 2 engines to be able to stop, but they're just trying to keep it down and prevent it from starting fires in the neighboring houses.